Podcast episode number 10. The big 10, the big 10. Today we have Llovelyer. What the hell was that?
10.
Oh, that was your 10. Okay, sorry. This episode's based around a big change for content because I don't know if any of you knew, but Llovelyer moved from Canada to Spain. Maybe not for content, maybe for content, but who knows? I guess you'll find out, won't you? Okay, so first question. Tell us a bit about you and your content.
Okay.
You can talk also you can talk as much or as little as you want, by the way.
Okay.
So go for it.
Something about me. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. There's not a whole lot about me outside my content. My whole life right now revolves around my whole PC and my game and my camera and everything. Literally everything that I do, I think about, can I bring my camera with me? Can I stream there? Can I do, like, literally all the time. I don't know why. I just really like it a lot. My content is, how can I say this? Winged? Like,
Good.
99% of it is not planned. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just screaming and gaming most of the time.
Real. But sometimes that's when the best content comes, when you wing it. You don't know what's going to happen, you know? You just go live and see what happens. Hit the go live button and see what happens. So is there any games you play or anything you like in particular?
I like shooting games. I like particularly Apex Legends.
Okay.
But I'm getting into Counter-Strike. I fell in love with Rainbow Six Siege a while ago, but I don't play it anymore that much since I switched to PC. And that's really all I play right now.
Okay, nice. Okay, tell us a bit about you. I mean, it doesn't have to be your personal life. It could just be like, let's just say what sort of streamer you think you are. Like, if I had to ask you, what category would you put yourself in? What would you say? So, like, you could have, like, community. You're, like, very focused on the game. You're very focused on, like, everything. Like, you know, everyone has their own, like, not hidden, but, like, different perks, you know?
I think I'm very, like, community-based. I spend a lot of time trying to create, like, meaningful friendships with the people that are around me and the people that want to be around me. I mean, the biggest thing for me is finding people similar to me. Those are the people that I get along best with. I mean, yeah, that's basically it. I spend a lot of time trying to be friends with people, and I try a lot to have a space where people feel they're welcome. They can be themselves. They can find other people aside from me in the community to also be themselves around too.
Okay, nice. I think I agree with that. I think you are, like, very community based. I know you're, like, like a people person. I'd say, like a people person. You very much, like, want to be friends with everyone, literally everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cleared up, you know, about yourself and your content. Let's just start getting into the real juicy questions. First question. How did you feel about changing regions for your content career?
I felt really nervous, to be honest, because before I was moving, obviously I was, like, mentioning it to my community, and when I was streaming, I was like, I'm gonna be moving. It's an 8-hour difference from where I was, and I was really nervous because some people would say, oh, you're gonna stop, we're never gonna see you, you're gonna stop streaming, you're gonna change your schedule, and that made me really nervous because obviously, like, my community is very based around North America, and moving to Europe was, I didn't have very many European friends at the time. Like, I knew about you, but we weren't even really friends. I was just kind of in your chat every once in a while type of thing. So I was really nervous, but for a full year, I was ultimate DGen. Like, I was committed to keeping my North American community, my North American schedule. I was streaming starting at, like, 1, 2 in the morning, all the way till 9, 10 in the morning. Like, I was the DGen of DGens for, like, a full year. Now it's changed a little bit, but that was my commitment. I was really nervous, but it ended up being okay.
Yeah, well, I remember when you used to start streaming at, like, 1 a.m. And then you messaged me saying you want to come play, and I'm like, hello? I'm asleep. I'm literally in bed. I wasn't even awake when you'd message me. I wasn't even awake. So wait, do you think it's like positive then what you've done? Like, do you think like just your life in general as well, like outside of content, do you think like overall it was the right thing to do? If you even have an answer, that is.
I mean, as far as that decision and then my life outside it, I didn't have one. I was sleeping all day so that I was able to be awake in the night. And even sometimes I would wake up, if I woke up at like 5 p.m., it was still too early because then I would be tired by the time I wanted to stream at 1 in the morning. So I didn't really have a life, but I was so committed to this schedule because I did not want anybody, like I didn't want to lose my friends because I this is all I had. You know, I move a whole country. I don't know anyone. I don't speak the language. Like this is all I had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and obviously the time difference being like, well, you say 8 hours it was.
it was 8 hours from where I lived. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously most of your community is NA based, so that is difficult to unless you become a night streamer. Well, I mean you was anyway, right? So it wasn't really too much of a change. It was more just streaming into the DGen hours. So oh, we've got a guest. We've got a special guest. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on that. You can answer about changing regions. I think the next question would have been something about that. Okay, I'll ask you this one actually before I ask you the next one. Do you think there's any cons to it? Like, anything you miss from being like on NA, even just in NA, or like just the way things are in NA? Is there anything you miss?
I wouldn't say this is necessarily a con, but now that I'm starting to really get into IRL stuff, like really, really striving to like get more into IRL, I think the one thing that would be better is if I could speak the language, which I'm learning, but I'm learning really slowly, and I'm not at the point where I can like have a full conversation. So like simple tasks alone are really difficult. So that kind of affects streaming a little bit because I can't just go anywhere and do anything because the language barrier. I mean, there's Google Translate, but like
Yeah, it's a bit effort to do
it's
that.
it's not the same, and yeah, it's like it's kind of annoying. I feel like if I have to like have my phone out every 2 seconds just to, like say one thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's like a con. I think that's just because it will change eventually. But yeah,
That just
that's
comes with it,
probably
right?
the main thing.
It
Yeah,
just comes with moving. But you learning Spanish, you are, right? Trying to.
yeah, yeah. I'm on a streak on Duolingo.
Nice. What streak? Let's have a look.
184.
Nice. Round of applause. 184. How many Spanish words do you know, though, is the next question.
Am I supposed to have a number?
I don't know.
Is there a
No, I
number
just
on
want
here?
you to, like, any sentences you can say.
That's put me on the spot.
Oh. Sorry, do you not know a full sentence yet? No.
I'm scared. No, I do. I'm really the main thing is I can understand a lot of Spanish, but it depends on one, how fast they're speaking. Because if they're speaking really fast, some words sound the same as others, so it all jumbles together and then I'm lost.
Yeah.
And two, it's once I start speaking it, like being confident to speak it, what I do know, it'll like just get the ball rolling, but I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I speak English is the minute that I'm able to. Like if somebody speaks a little bit English, I go English. Like,
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
easier to do that, though, isn't it? Rather than, like, not pretending, but, like, actively trying to, like, speak Spanish and then going, oh, I don't know if I said that right, or I don't know if they understand. Or if they say something you don't understand, you're like, They just smile, like, ha.
Yeah, they do. I'm just like, okay, well, that was wrong. So moving on.
Okay. Right, next question. What are some of the changes for you / your community had to go through? So with you moving, like, what are some of the changes you would say, good and bad?
I would say for the first bit, for a few months, nothing really changed. My schedule was the same. I mean, I did take like a month off of everything to get like settled and whatever. But I would say it didn't really change. for the beginning, and then I started to become really inconsistent because my sleep was really bad. There were some health things I was like getting looked at, and obviously I had to be awake in the day to go and things like that. So I definitely was becoming really inconsistent, which was affecting like numbers, it was affecting people knowing when I'm even going to be around. So people didn't know what to expect. So that was probably like the main thing that really changed. Um, Now it's better. Now I'm here. I've got more of a schedule. I've changed my schedule. I'm not streaming DGen hours. I mean, I am a little bit, but not to the extent that I was. I have more of a life now. I could see the sun. So
Finally. Finally, you can see the sun. That's what I told you from the start as you should do.
I know.
Go out and experience the Spanish sun.
Y'all already told me it was gonna catch up to me, and it did.
I did. I used to tell her all the time, why are you streaming at that time? Your viewers are still going to watch you. Some of them might not be able to watch if you're not streaming until like 7, 6 a.m. But that's the time you're going to be ending anyway. So just bring it back a couple hours. Then you can actually have a normal life in Spain. Go out and do stuff that you want to do. Enjoy the sun, enjoy the weather, enjoy having a normal life. And then you can go stream in the evening. And now look. Yeah.
I had to. Well, the main thing that really made me be like, maybe I really should change my schedule was one. Main thing, my doctor was getting a little concerned. I get blood work done regularly, like just because you should. Health is the best, guys.
True.
But he was just saying like, yeah, you need to sleep more. Like these levels are not great. So should probably make a change. And I also don't want it to affect me when I'm like older, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look after your health now while you can.
Yeah.
Okay, what about your community then? Like, would you say like your viewership dropped off, or would you say like, you sense like a change in them, or was it just like the complete same?
It wasn't the complete same, but honestly, it's pretty similar. Like, at least in the beginning, I was like, wow. If anything, I'm growing by doing this. I have a lot more like EU friends now, or people that I know in EU that I can play with, which is really nice because that was like my biggest concern was who am I gonna play with when my NA friends are working or sleeping or whatever, you know? So that's really nice. But I don't really think a lot changed. I mean, I'm still like maxing viewers around really late in the night, but that's okay. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think for me, like looking at you and your like viewership, maybe I think it's good the way you've done it now because you now have like a life outside of streaming. Like you can go do stuff outside or whatever. Like you said, your health's getting better, but everyone can still watch you. They just can't watch you for a longer period of time, so they kind of have to tune in when they can, rather than it being like you starting at like 2 a.m. and then that's when they're joining. They can kind of like join halfway through, and it's still sort of the same viewership what you normally be getting, but you're also attracting more viewership because you're streaming at like nighttime for EU people, so they're going to be sitting in bed watching, or do you know what I mean, that sort of thing. So I think that was like the benefit of doing that, right? Like bringing it back like a couple hours so you could stream maybe not as long because as you used to, but like you could stream similar hours, just not as long hours as you were doing.
Yeah, I was doing like 12 hours, multiple days a week. Like,
yeah. I mean, some of your streams are like 24 hours, 28 hours, like 4 days. What was the longest stream you ever did? Wasn't it the one we did it to Masters?
Yeah, 42 hours.
Straight. Did you sleep at all?
I took a 3-hour nap. So 30, what is that? Yeah, you do the math.
39 hours.
39 hours. Yeah.
39 hours. That is crazy. And you did it, though. You did it. You did it. So.
And then I went to the doctor right after.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you went to the doctor. What did he say?
Oh, I had to get my ears looked at because I was wearing in-ears and I thought there was a bug in my ear, but I think my ears were just really irritated from
all the noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the noise. Yeah, that would make more sense. That would make more sense.
Or maybe I was wearing a headset. I can't remember, but something like that.
You numpty. You numpty. Okay, that was the last question. Did you notice any changes in opportunities, positive or negative? So opportunities in sense of like sponsorships, because I know like NA has like a way bigger like pool of like opportunities and sponsors than EU does, from my personal experience anyway.
I actually didn't ever get any opportunities for sponsors or things like that when I was in NA. I mean, my stream was at a good place when I left NA, but I've grown since then, and so the opportunities that I got now still would have happened then. I just don't think it was the right time, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I
So
felt...
nothing with that.
Go on.
Nothing with that. Like, that wasn't the reason why it changed, you know?
Yeah. I was just thinking more because I know that, like, NA has, like, a way bigger, like, pool of, like, opportunities. Even if that's, like, tournaments or, like, sponsorships or, like, cash cups or whatever it is. They always have, like, the bigger options because they've, like, got more people, bigger sponsorships, etc., etc. So I was wondering if you had any, like, changes in that. So you said you didn't really have much when you was in NA. Okay, so you don't really have like any pros or negatives then, I guess.
No, I
Not
mean,
really.
I was invited to like the Nessie Cup. Do you remember when that was going
Oh
on?
yes, I remember that. Yeah. That was like,
But,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
but I think that was, I don't know, did that include the UK?
I don't think so. A lot of the tournaments that I've seen recently are just NA, pretty much. It's pretty much just NA viewership. So that's why I was wondering if you had any like. Go on, Sam.
Yeah, that makes me wonder because I'm a resident here, but I'm still a citizen there. So like it makes me wonder if I'm eligible for both. I don't know.
I don't know how it works. I have no idea. I think some of them pick like some organizations pick majority NA because they know they have bigger viewership as well.
Yeah.
On top of that, because obviously not a lot of people in EU have big viewership in Apex anyway. In Apex,
Yeah.
As an example, there's only like maybe 5 or 6 that have like quite big viewership in from EU compared to like NA, who's got like, you could say probably about 20, 25, maybe 30 you could name.
Yeah.
That have like and like that have like the big ones are like double R ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So you don't have any positive or negatives because you didn't really have much in NA. Okay, next question. What do you think is the most important part of streaming / making content?
The most important thing about streaming and making content is definitely you have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, people are gonna know. And they feed off, like, I find that people feed off my energy. So like if I'm like having a really good day and I'm like really vibing, like I can like feed that energy into other people and like hopefully make their day a little better, make them a little happier, you know? But if you're not like feeling it, you can't really give those same vibes, you know? And it's less enjoyable to watch. Like if people are just in a bad mood, it's just not the same. So I think that enjoying it is a big part. If you're doing something you don't like, if you're playing a game that you don't want to be playing, if you're like people are going to know. So you need to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. I think that's very like, I think for me that's the same as well. It's like it's hard to actually like pretend you're having a good time when you're not having a good time. Do you know what I mean? Like I could tell if you're not having a good time because you can just see it on your face or just the way you're acting. And the way you are, you know, like your energy and like the vibes you're giving off, you can just kind of see. And no one really wants to watch a streamer that's not like, that's not, what's the word? That's not really giving anything back. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like they're having a bad time and they're like down or whatever, they're not enjoying what they're doing, the chat are not gonna like not appreciate it, but they're not gonna vibe with it because they can see that you're not having a good time at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is why I think for you, like what you're saying now, is why it's good to go into IRL content and like you want to try and expand into other like what's the word? Other like ventures like IRL and like other things like that, you know. So yeah, I think you'll be good at that though. I think you'd be good at like IRL content. I know you've only done one, right? Where you went to that market, wherever it was.
Yeah. Went to the mall. We went shopping.
Yeah, it was good though. It was good. I thought it was alright. But I think it is nerve-wracking. Like I've never done one, but eventually I do want to do one. But I know it can be like very daunting being outside and actually like doing Do you know what I mean? Like just recording yourself.
Yeah.
How did
Well,
you find it though? How did you find it?
it was really fun. I ended up having like a really good time. It kind of honestly it felt the same just in public, you know? Like it felt like I was at my computer reading chat, but like just in public. I did have a problem though with the security there, and they were like telling me one thing, then telling me another thing an hour later, and then I didn't know if I was allowed to be there or whatever, which was kind of intimidating again because they come up to you speaking a bunch of Spanish, and then you're like, oh my god, what am I? Is security like, what am I doing? But
Yeah.
other than that, like I was fine. Again, the whole Spanish thing, most people spoke English at least, but trying to find out if they speak English was also really nerve-wracking. But I think the more I do it, the easier it will be for me, and the
Ye-
more I'll learn Spanish.
Yeah, definitely. And you can also get like parts of that tech thing you've got as well, so you can like build it around yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like with
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you see the magnetic thing you can buy now, where you like stick it to like a bit of metal in it. You can just have it there or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's those different ways around it. But it'll get easier. That's why a lot of people have like cameramen. Do you know what I mean? Where they just get people to film them, so they don't have to hold, and then they can just like hold their phone to read chat off of.
I wish I
Yeah.
had friends here. Anyone in Spain?
Well, to be fair, Peachy said, and I know Steph as well. I know you said you was going to meet up with Steph, maybe.
Yeah, Steph and I might meet this weekend. So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of
Just 2
people.
hours from
I don't think I know a lot of people from Spain, to be fair, but yeah, you have to make some friends, mate. That's on you. You got that.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. Okay,
right.
next. Sorry. I didn't think you heard that one. My bad. Next question. How important do you think it is to have variety in your content?
I think that if you're a numbers person and you're like wanting to grow as a creator and your numbers aren't moving and you're playing the same thing every single time, I think that venturing out to see other games or other things in your content is not a bad idea because, I mean, at the end of the day, the people that watch you are there mostly for you. Unless you're like a pro player, they're there to like watch your gameplay. But if you're not a pro and you're just like a content creator, they're going to be there for you. So venturing out, you're still going to keep majority of the people there. I think venturing out and finding other things that you might enjoy that you might not think you enjoy can help you a lot. And who knows, like I know this Apex creator, I don't really remember her name, but she was a main Apex creator and then she ventured off into Minecraft and she blew up. And it's just like it kind of like made me think that's kind of crazy. Like Minecraft out of any
All the
game,
games,
Minecraft
yeah.
has been Minecraft has been around for so long, and you know, you never know. So I think going into other things that you enjoy or might enjoy, like for example, for me, I love gaming. I only recently discovered gaming and when Apex came out, and but I've been watching and consuming IRL content since way before gaming, and even now I watch a ton of IRL stuff. So venturing into IRL is really, really exciting for me. So I think that everybody should try it, at least if you're a content creator.
What's that, RL or just variety?
Just what you enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. But I think sometimes, do you know the big thing about this is, this big talking point about this is that people feel like they're trapped in a box with a game or like a certain thing they're doing. So let's just say Apex, for example. People think they're trapped in this like never-ending like cycle of, I don't really want to play the game, but I do want to play the game a kind of little bit. But then I know I'm going to be like not as entertaining. But then I know my viewership's going to drop. So then do I try a new game or do I just like stick with it and just hopefully it gets better? Or do you know what I mean? It's hard to like just say. That's why people find it easier to say to people, oh, just change your game. But it's not as easy as that. Like it's not as easy just switching a game, because there's a lot of people, whether you like it or not, that won't watch the game that you're playing or won't watch what you're doing because they don't care about it. So they're not going to do it. Do you know what I mean? If you base the community off of a game, if it's then your personality, like, and people come and watch your personality, which is 9 times out of 10 what people do anyway, but it's hard for creators to feel that way because you always feel like, oh, if I change my game, people are not going to watch me. But most of the time they are gonna just come back just because it's you, right? They want to watch you. They don't care about the game you're playing. Like, as long as you're entertaining, you can make any game entertaining. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, went from Apex to Minecraft. That's like completely a polar opposite of each other.
Yeah.
But I think it's more creators getting in their head about that as well. I mean, listen, I do it as well, so I'm not like saying it, but I just mean in general, it is hard to like just say, oh, just play another game, because sometimes people aren't interested in other games, and then they're scared about their viewership dropping as well. So, but it's more, I find it's going to help you in the long run than it is in the short term. So, like, it might affect your viewership for a short period of time, but people will always come back for you. So you just then have to grow the few amount of people that might have left because you're not playing X game or doing X thing now. You just have to kind of grow that back up a bit more now that you've changed games or changed what you're doing. But like, I know you've enjoyed the IRL stuff, right? Which is, again, completely the different opposite to sitting at your desk playing a game.
Well, I think that people, if you're really like wanting to take this seriously, like, and really committing a lot of time and because it does cost a lot of money also to have like good equipment and good enough PC to stream and game type of thing. If you're like putting in the effort, I think you do kind of have to be a little smart about it. Like, you do have to think about it, because I mean, I know for me, a lot of my friends are playing Marvel Rivals, and I was so scared to stream it because I can't think and breathe at the same time sometimes, all right? So, how am I going to be entertaining, play the game well, read chat, interact with chat, and be myself? Like, I can't. I could not stream that game. And when I did, a lot of times my viewers dropped a lot because I'm not talking to chat, I'm not interacting, I'm not being myself because I have to try in this game, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you do have to be kind of smart about it. So I would like, if I were to do a stream on a different game, it would be more of a planned, I'm gonna do this amount of hours, or I'm gonna like make it a big thing. I'm gonna do the whole day, like a challenge or something like that, you know, to make it like a little bit have a purpose than just playing the game. But I was stuck in that box for a long time on Apex, and I slowly started doing a couple hours here and there on Counter Strike to like get my way in, and then I started meeting people in Counter Strike, and then the more people that I met in Counter Strike, you know, it kind of just made up for the people that left when I'm not playing Apex. They joined for the Counter Strike portions, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, you kind of have to be smart about it, but at the same time, don't think about it so much.
Yeah.
You know,
It's never going to be as bad as you think it's going to be as well.
yeah.
Like, the majority core people of your community are going to stay to watch you. Like, they're not just going to go, oh, I'm never watching you again now because you swapped from my favorite game. Do you know what I mean? But it is hard. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. It also depends on the type of person you are as well, which is why I think it's so, like, it's just not good to base your whole personality around a game. Because if you do, then you're just trapped, and you don't want to trap yourself. Like, make content on a game and make stuff around the gaming and stuff like that, but you shouldn't make it your whole personality. Like, if you play the game and you're not interacting with chat, or like you're talking every now and then, like, people are not going to now watch you if you go and play League of Legends, are they? Because they don't care. They've come, you've basically said, oh, you know, I want to play the game. Like, I'm good at the game. This is my content. I don't really want to interact with you that much. Well, no, it's not a case of not interactive. It's more just, you know, the people that don't really.
They don't relate.
No,
they don't know what's going on,
it's more of them to just record their gameplay. It's not them like streaming. They're not like doing it for people, which is what I always think as well. When I'm having like maybe not the best day, or like you're not having a good day on the game, or like you feel like stream's not going, you always have to remember that people have turned up for you. Like, everyone in your stream is there for you. Do you know what I mean? They're not, like, people don't really care 9 times out of 10 about your gameplay. Like, they come to watch you and like how you play the game, or like how you are, you know. So that's why I always make sure that like you're always interacting, or at least trying your best to interact with everyone, because it's, you know, people don't have to turn up to your stream. No one's forcing them to turn up to your stream, right? Like, I'm sure you've got people in your stream that turn up every single day without fail. And it's just, you know, that's how you have to see it, as like people don't really want to hold on a sec. People don't you know, people wanna watch you and they want to interact with you and they want to be there and they want to be entertained and stuff. So like letting the game or whatever affect you is never going to turn out in your favor, because like you'll just end up hating yourself. Do you know what I mean? You end up just hating it. Let me move the camera a sec. Give me 2 secs. Sorry, Rose said the thing was pissing him off. There we go. Okay. Anything else to add to that, Lovia?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, this is like a tip question now. Do you have any tips for smaller streamers trying to build a community?
For smaller stream, I mean, to be honest, like I consider myself and like you, I still consider like us smaller streamers, but I then think back to when I had like 4 viewers, 3 viewers, and then I'm like, wow, someone with 20 viewers is huge. Oh my God, like how do you do that? You know, I remember those. And I guess the main thing I would say, the main thing that really grew my stream, I think, in terms of like numbers and whatever, was consistency. People being able to know when they can find you, know what you're going to be up to. If you have a schedule, or at least you'll be, you know, people know you'll be live every Thursday and Friday at this time or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's just an example. Like people just need to know when they can be around. They know what to look forward to, and just if it's just sporadic, or like you'll stream in the morning when you feel like it, then you'll end, and then you'll stream in the evening. Like some people do that, but like people know when to find them. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest thing that really helped me
So you say schedule.
grow. Yeah,
Schedule.
schedule, consistency, mainly consistency.
Yeah, consistency and schedule. I think there's a lot of things that go into growing at the start.
Oh yeah.
But it's more keeping like repetitive, like what's the word? It's like more like reps of stuff, you know? Like the more you do of something, the better it's going to be and the easier it's going to get. So like a schedule, for example, is you getting in the reps of going, right, I'm going to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. till 8 p.m. Then everyone's going to know. As soon as you start doing that, your body will get into doing it as well. And you'll think, right, I got to stream today. Or like you know in your head, oh, I need to stream today, or I'm not streaming today. And then you can kind of like base your life around that as well, like your outside life. And then people will know, oh, okay, Lovely is going to be live on Monday at 2 p.m. Now I can like plan to watch her, or like, oh, if I miss that stream, I know I can catch her on Wednesday or Friday. You know, it's like that is the first initial thing I think you should be doing. But schedules are difficult because obviously jobs and like time zones and like just the way you can kind of work around them. Like it's hard to, it sometimes is hard to have a consistent schedule, as you know, especially if you're not like getting the growth you want at the start as well. You think, oh, should I change my schedule? I'm sure you've changed your schedule a few times. I know I have changed mine a few times. It's hard to find the right schedule. Yeah.
Like when I first started streaming, I was working 2 jobs, so it was a little bit difficult to find time to stream. I was working like a shift work, if anyone knows what that is. You do 2 days on, days, and then 2 nights, and then 4 days off. So usually I would do a stream between my day shift and my first night shift, and then so that I could get used to staying up. So I would do a late stream, and then on my days off I would try to stream, but days off I was also working a part-time job. So it was really difficult. My schedule was like all over the place, but once I like quit and I was doing one job and I was able to be like, okay, these 4 days this week I'm streaming every day, and then it became more consistent, and then more and more and more, and then so my schedule has changed a whole lot. But I definitely saw that like growth the minute I started to actually have a consistency. Like it wasn't every day the same days every week type of thing. It was 4 days a week at least. I knew I was going to be able to stream, so I would just update every week. This is the days I have off this week, and then people knew where to find me and what to expect. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's like having a Discord as well, like posting that in your Discord or whatever. That then can help, because then people have it like a poster, like, oh, this is when she's going to be live. This is when she's going to be live.
Yeah.
But it's hard, like you say, it's hard when you have like a full-time job or part-time job to kind of. It's finding the time and also the energy as well, because it's very hard. Like, it's difficult to like be entertaining all the time. As much as people think, oh, you're just sitting in front of a camera and you're just like playing a game or doing what you're doing, it's difficult. It takes a lot out of you. Yeah, it takes a lot out of you. Yeah.
If you're not energetic and you're just tired and you're just sitting here, like, gaming and like you look over at the chat sometimes, like people are not gonna want to be around. Like
No, yeah. No, 100%.
unless you're a pro player and like you're cracked out of your mind and doing crazy things. But if you're to be a content creator, you have to be entertaining.
And think outside the box as
Bring
well.
something.
Yeah, you have to bring something different, right? Something different to what everyone else is doing. Because you don't want to just be that guy or girl or whatever that's just stuck in the system of like, oh, there's like 15 other streamers like me. Do you know what I mean? You want to be yourself and you want to be you, you know? Which is that's also when you find growth as well. Is when you find your own niche and like what you're good at and what you think you're good at. And then you just get ideas flowing from that. Do you know what I mean? If you're like, whether you're a YouTuber or a streamer or whatever, as soon as you find your niche and you get some sort of success from it, that's what it's good. Like, for example, I don't know if you've like, when you post on TikTok or Instagram and then a video like blows up and you're like, oh my God. And you're like, oh my God. And then like you keep seeing it go up and you're checking it like, oh my God, I've got another comment, or like, I've got like 100 more likes on it now. Do you know what I mean? That sort of stuff. Like, I always do that. Whenever I have a video that does well, I always check it. Because I know when it's going to do, well, it's not like I know when it does well, but when it is doing well, I consistently just keep checking it. I don't know why. It's just like the consistency of like seeing a comment and I reply to that comment, or seeing how many likes it's got, or seeing how many views it's got, or that sort of thing, you know? It's like the addiction of like seeing the numbers. Because that's all people pretty much focus on, right? In streaming is numbers. Like, I don't know.
Not only the streamers. There are people in the community, viewers, who also are like looking at your numbers and they're like, you know what I mean? So not just streamers, but
Yeah. But I was going to say to you, do you ever check your numbers? Because I feel like a lot of people do.
Yeah, I check my numbers a lot, but I haven't had a video blow up before. So, but I do know, like, when I even get like 2 comments, I'm like, people are interacting, people are around.
Yeah.
I kind of did have one video, Counter-Strike. It didn't blow up, but it got a lot of traction I posted this when I was in NA still, but for some reason it blew up in Turkey. And a lot of Turkish people were commenting and viewing it, and a lot of the comments were negative, but like I was still really happy that people were like watching and commenting on my video.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of people, majority of videos that kind of do well are normally the hate comments. Like that's the ones that push them out there. No matter but to be honest, I've said this on before. No matter what you post, someone's gonna hate on it. It doesn't matter what you post. You could post the nicest, most sweetest thing possible, something that cannot be hated on, and someone will find somewhere to hate on.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is. But then again, people don't realize that they're pushing your content out more. So because then you're going to end up on their For You page, and then they just end up getting sick of you, and then they push it out and they'll show their friends, and then before you know it, they've hate commented, but they've showed 4 of their friends, and now you're on their For You page as well. So that's 5 people off one comment that you've now got on your For You page, and they just think it's, oh, I'm just hating on this person. Look at it, he's an idiot. But which is why rage baiting is such a big thing now as well. Rage baiting and clickbaiting is such a massive thing.
I never rage bait.
No, I think I've maybe done it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever done it once actually. Maybe like slightly, but not like, right, I'm going to post this because I know it's going to piss people off. I don't ever do that, but I know it can do that to some people.
For legal reasons, I'm joking. I definitely rage bait.
But if it gets views, you know what I mean? As long as it's not harming anyone, as long as you're not doing anything horrific, I don't think it's that bad. Especially if you're playing a game, like, and you're just doing something silly. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, currently now, you could just use the Devo. Just run, like, triple Devo on Ballistic and use that as rage bait content. Just running around, just shooting people. Like, people will react to that because they'll start hating on it. But
yeah, especially on Facebook, by the way.
Yeah.
Facebook got some big haters.
Yeah. I mean, every platform has. I don't know which one's the worst, to be fair, but
I think Facebook's the worst.
You think?
Yeah,
I thought Facebook's full of like mums and stuff, though. No, like older generation. Yeah, well, they're hating her. Yeah.
Tiles.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's the worst, but some of them. I mean, some of them you get nice comments, some of them you get bad comments. It's just the way it is. Yeah. And to be honest, even as a content creator, you always focus on the negatives and you do the positives.
Yeah.
Like someone said to me the other day, "Oh, you were so quick when I reply. I'm going to follow you." I was like, "Oh, thanks." Like, I think that's pretty normal. I was just commenting back because they commented. And they were like, "Oh, you replied so quick. I'm definitely going to follow you." And they followed me. I was like, "Oh, thanks." But, you know, the comment you're going to remember is the one abusing you 9 times out of 10.
Right.
You're just going to focus on that one because it's the one that you saw, like, you know what I mean? You're like, because it's the one that gets the reaction out of you.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
not reaction posting back to them, but more like you think in your head, why has someone commented that? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why would you
Yeah.
ever think that?
It gets in your head.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. But do you ever let comments get to you or no?
Well, I'm very thankful that I haven't had like a whole lot of bad experiences. I mean, maybe it's just I haven't hit those people yet or those randoms because most of my content is consumed by my community. It doesn't really reach often further than that. But there have been some comments that have gotten to me, but most of the time, like I don't ban people in my chat very often, even when they're being a little nuisance or whatever. I like to troll them back and see if I can get a reaction back out of them or like whatever. Because I think not only to get a reaction like necessarily negatively, but a lot of times I'd like to say a lot of times it's positive, and then they end up like questioning themselves. Like I don't know why I was trying to be like that. Like you're kind of cool type of thing. You know what I mean? Like they try and rage bait me in my chat, and then I go along with it type of thing.
Yeah.
Like they'll make a comment about, oh my gosh, your gameplay is horrible. Yeah, it is. It is. Watch me do this 360 no scope, and then I miss everything, and I'm like, see, did you see it? Like going along with the rage bait, and then they end up laughing, and then they're like, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I was mean.
Yeah, they end up
Kind of
sticking
funny.
around. Yeah, they end up sticking
Yeah.
around. But that's, to be honest, people like that, that's their go-to thing is to hate first and then go, oh, okay, no, they're actually alright, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
know why that's a thing, but it is a thing. Also, when I said about numbers, I meant like Twitch numbers. You ever look at your analytics or anything like that? Because I feel like that,
Oh,
for you answer, I
I
feel
was
like that's so detrimental as well. I try my absolute best not to look. Like, I always try my best not to look. Because as like content creators, it's no matter what number you see on the screen, you're never going to be happy with it. That's how I feel anyway. Like, obviously, okay, that's maybe out of context, that sounds not great, but I mean, in terms of if you've been stuck on like, let's just say 10 viewers for like 6 months, and then you check 6 months later and you're still on 15, that's gonna just like, you know, that's not gonna be a good feeling that you've gone up 5 viewers in 6 months, right? So it's very hard to like take yourself out of that situation and go, okay, I'm just not gonna look at my numbers because I don't want to know what I averaged or what I did that stream, because the number's never going to be as good as I think it is in my head, you know? I try and gauge it off of how well that stream has gone, or potentially how that week of streaming has gone, or how that month of streaming has gone. Like, if I think, oh my God, okay, that was a good like month I had there. Like, you know, I had a lot of new people come in. I might have got a few subs or whatever, or I had a few loads of follows or whatever. That's how I try and gauge it. But it is very hard to not look at your numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of Twitch, like not any other social, yeah, I look at my numbers every single day when I can. Like I'm always looking, and I'm always thinking about Twitch, and not necessarily like, oh my gosh, I'm doing horrible. I've been at the same viewership for like over a year now, I would say. It's not really increasing. Like I have days where like I'm doing really well, like, but it's so there's so many factors to it. Like when I'm having a low day, I start thinking about what day of the week it is, what time did I start, what time did I finish, what people could possibly be doing, like working, or is it a holiday, or I literally in my head I'm considering like so many different factors, but I most of the time I have days where I'm just like feeling bad about it, but most of the time I'm like usually give myself the benefit of the doubt. Like if I have a really low day, I'm like not like in my head like I did something wrong. There's a lot of things happening in the world, and I always like tell myself it's not because of me. It's just there's people have lives, people are doing things. It's a holiday, it's a weekend, it's a weekday. It's like a lot, I that's what I try and do. But I am looking at my numbers a lot, and always trying to think about what is it that I could be doing to increase it. But as much as I want to be like a big streamer and like this great influencer and like make a difference in that way, I I'm happy like where I am, and I know that one day I'm very much a believer in myself that one day I'll be there, and it might not be for 5 years or whatever, but, like, I am very I'm very much a believer in that I can actually make this happen and actually make this work. So I'm not getting too caught up right now because my time will come. I think everything happens for a reason, and if it doesn't happen for whatever reason, I just have to believe that there was a reason for it that I just don't know.
Yeah, I think everything happens for a
Yeah.
reason as well. But you do have to have the belief in yourself. Because if you
Yeah.
don't believe in yourself, then how's anyone else going to believe in you? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Another thing too, if you don't believe in yourself, people also are going to know that. Like if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to have any motivation to work towards your goals. Like if you already are not believing, oh, this probably won't happen, like you have to start thinking this might happen. This could happen. This is very possible. Just because it's like thinking that you might be a partner Twitch streamer who averages 300 viewers right now because we only average so much less than that. Like that's like a crazy thing to think about, but it's very, very possible. It's
Yeah,
very possible.
it is. It is. You just have to. It's a lot of factors that go into it. It's a lot of factors. I feel like sometimes it's
A lot.
the right time. Sometimes it's a bit of luck. Sometimes it's, you could be like raided by someone massive, or you get involved in a big viral clip, or you get involved in like a massive tournament and then you get your moment and that's like your breakthrough moment.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things. Some people,
Yeah.
like look at the massive streamers now that was started. Everyone starts somewhere, right? Like they never spawned on Twitch with like 2K viewers. Like they've had to work hard for that. But people always see that as, oh, like why has this person got this? I don't deserve this. But you don't realize how long they've stayed at lower viewership before that happened to them. Like when I first started, I was on like, I think I averaged like 3 or 2 for like 6 months, and then that's when I got affiliate after
Oh,
that. Yeah, I
already
got
partner?
yeah, I got affiliate
Whoa.
after that. I got affiliate after that. Like when I started like connecting with people and networking and like talking to more people. But
Yeah.
everyone, like again, even with that, everyone's completely different. I know some people that got affiliate in a week or 3 days or whatever. It took me like 6 months.
I mean, that's the same with partner too. I know a girl who, within 6 months of starting streaming, she got partnered on Twitch. She's from, I think, Finland.
Mm-hmm.
But she got really involved in like a bigger community, and then that community ended up loving her, and then that's how like you just have to find the people like you, the people who like you like them, similar,
Yeah,
similar. That's like the big thing.
yeah. Finding people that match your personality or get on your
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
Then that's also how you build community as well.
exactly.
You build community through that. So yeah. Okay, this is a big one. Next question. How important for you is mental health? So that's outside
Um,
and um, also in streaming.
it's a very generalized question, but um, mental health is very, very important. Men's mental health is very, very important to me personally, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, like, what do you mean? How important is it? Like, it's very important, but like, what more? Like, how can
As
I?
in, like, okay, let's just use streaming as the first example. As in, like, if you're not mentally healthy, how important do you think it is to like take breaks and sort your mental health out before it is, rather than just sitting there streaming when you know outside things are affecting your life? Same as outside of that as well. Then going back to streaming as well. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, how do you think looking after your health can help you grow as well as a person, as well as streaming at the same time?
I think that breaks are really healthy, if especially if you're not in a good mental space. Whether that's due to online things that are happening or just personal things that are happening, I think it's really important to take time away. Someone like me, I wear my emotions right on my face. I'm not good at showing that. Like if I'm not doing okay, you will be able to see it so quickly on me. Like I'm not acting the same. I can't even fake it. I don't know how people fake being happy, like whether it's because they convince themselves if they fake it then they will be or whatever. I cannot do that. I have to like step away And like as long as I think you communicate with people and say, "Hey, I'm not going to be around for a week. I really need a break. Like I'm not doing good." Um I think that can be really really good. Do what you have to do offline. Um and then so that when you do come back, you are your best self again and you can be that safe place for other people. You can be that positive area that people can hang out in and I think that's really important for you and for the community too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know you're like a big advocate for like mental health, right? Like you very want to talk about it as well. I know you did like that stream that I got involved in with like Men's Mental Health Month and stuff, and you spoke about it on there, and you got people on and whatnot to talk about their experiences, and not even just in streaming, like just a generalized men's mental health, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but I agree. I think it's very important. It just
Yeah.
in both senses, streaming outside world is very important. Like it's okay, like you know, to not be okay sometimes. Like it happens. You're not every day is going to be like the best day you've ever had in your life. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be some stages of your life where they're not going to be going great. And you're not going to have a good time, and you just have to try and your best to navigate your way through how you can come out of that better. You know, no matter what that is. It might be a loss of a family member. It might be like you lost your job, whatever it is. You know, it's tough, but
Yeah. And that's why I also really, really feel like you have to enjoy what you do. Like when my dad had passed away, I took about like a week and a half of just no I wasn't even really around Discord to be honest. I was playing games but like offline. This was like it was my escape. So I took a little bit off, not a while, but week and a half and then when I did come back because I enjoy streaming and being around so much, it was like so good for me that I took that break because when I came back, I I felt good, you know? I wasn't like still I mean, obviously losing somebody is never ever easy, but you have to navigate life. Like life still goes on, you know? So coming back to somewhere that I enjoyed being around, the people I enjoyed being with and enjoyed what I was doing really, really was important.
yeah, because you go back to like what you know, right? Where you just like you feel comfortable doing, and no matter how long that takes you, or you know, it could be quick, it could be long. Just you have to look after yourself first before you start coming back online. Because even with streaming as well, it's very hard to like just sit in front of a camera. Like you said, you wear emotions on your face. I'm the exact same. Like if I'm not having a good day, you know it. Like it's hard. It's hard. It's not like that's why I think sometimes it differs to like a let's just say normal job or 9 to 5 is that like some jobs you can kind of hide away and you can kind of do your own thing. You don't really have to show your face. You don't really have to be entertaining. You don't really have to be like yourself. Do you know what I mean? And even if it is in that environment, you say, "Oh, I just one of them days, mate. Like I just want to get on my work and go home." Do you know what I mean? Whereas streaming, it's harder to do that. Way harder
Yeah.
because it's not just get on and let's just talk. Like some people are open and they want to speak about it. Like they want to talk like about what's going on in their life. Some people want to hide it away and just pretend like it's not there and just let's just go online and, you know, that's be me. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. It's not always the case. I mean, there's loads of streamers that do that. I know you're one of them. I'm one of them. Who else does something like this? Like Lace, for example, Black Boy, like all these sort of people, they'll, maybe not the mental side of it, but when you first start streaming, it's not just, right, let's get straight into the game. Like, you have like an hour where you just talk. Like, you just talk about, this is how my day went, or, you know, this happened to me today, or this week this happened, or how was your weekend? And then you start getting a conversation, and then you go into a game. I always think that's better to do it that way, because it's like the warm-up of the stream, right? Where you're not just going, right, I've started stream, right, let's get straight into the game. No messing about, do you know what I mean? It's nice to actually sit there and have people to talk back to you about, and hear what you have to say, and then you have to hear what they have to say, you know?
Yeah. You know, interesting enough, I actually only just started doing that.
Oh, really?
Very recently.
Uh,
Usually I'm just like already in Apex and like we're straight into the game. But no, I just recently started doing that and I agree, like it's probably the best decision I ever made because I love yapping, as you know. I'm a yapper.
yeah.
And that was like my favorite part of the stream, honestly, is yapping with everyone, seeing what they're up to, them seeing what I'm up to, type of thing.
Yeah, same as me. I like to just know,
Yeah.
like, even if it's just something small, you know, it's just, it's, that's where you get, that's why I think the benefit of streaming is, like, compared to being a YouTuber or just making videos, is that you actually get, like, a personal connection with people that are watching your stream or your content. Like, whereas YouTube, it's just a comment. Like, it's hard to sort of gauge someone off a comment. Whereas if someone keeps coming back to your stream, or you get to know them through other people, or you might eventually play with them, like, you can kind of build like that connection and relationship with that person where you actually become friends with them, or, you know, you find out a bit more about their life and their background and stuff. It's always interesting, you know. Everyone has a story, which is why me and Crimp wanted to kind of start this, to be honest, because it's, you know, every single streamer, every single content creator has a story. No matter what it is, they have something to say. Even if it's something someone like 99 other people have said, they're going to have something that someone hasn't said, or they're going to have an experience that how their life differs to someone else, because not every streamer is the same. Not every person has the same like viewership or the same, they don't even play the same game. Like, people blow up. Like, everyone's completely different, which is why it is, again, harder to grow as well, because everyone's just completely different. So where do you put people in different categories, you know? But yeah, I think talking to your community at the start is always a good thing. I think it helps me as well, because I don't know, it's just nice to just sit and talk for a little bit, you know? So you're not just getting straight into the games and then having to hyper focus on the game as well as the chat, you know?
Well, yeah, and it also gives like a chance for the people who do support you, the people that want to be around you, your friends, your community, to talk, to share their day, maybe, you know, whatever they choose to share publicly, and then someone else in the community can also chime in, and like that's how you also help your community grow within each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's I think the kind of cool thing that I've gathered from like streaming as well is when other people meet through you. Like, that is just, I don't know what that is about that feeling, but it's just such a nice feeling that people have met through like you, or like through someone else that they've met in your community or whatever, and then now they're like good mates, and then you see them in their stream, or like you see them meeting up or whatever. It's just such a like, I don't know, it's just a cool feeling. Do you know what I mean? Like, just to see someone, or if someone starts dating someone or stuff like that, you know?
It's really cool.
It is sick. I mean, someone from my community got married, and they never spoke to each other ever before.
Really?
Yeah. One of my VIPs, Sleep. Because I've told this story before, but she met. So Sleep used to watch me back in the day. She still watches me now, to be fair, just not as much because she's like busy. But someone came into my stream and was like, "Hey man, can I like use your POV in a TikTok?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I don't mind, or whatever. I'm easy." So he like obviously clipped my stream, uploaded it on his TikTok, and then Sleep saw his TikTok, like started liking it. He then messaged her on TikTok. They started talking, and then 2 years later, they're married.
What the heck? That's so
crazy.
Cool.
That's crazy,
I didn't
right?
know that.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That's so cool.
And now they're living together. Well, they're moving in together soon. But they are actually married right now, which is mad. And to be honest, that was the very first time I ever spoke to Alex. That was her partner's name, Alex. And he came in and just asked, "Oh, can I use your POV of a clip?" And then they just started talking through TikTok. And then next thing you know, they're like flying it to see each other. And then she was like, "Oh, we're getting married." And I was like, "What?" So yeah, it's like over a three-year period, something like that.
Wow.
Crazy, right? That's what I'm saying. Even that stuff is like mental. That is just insane that can even happen.
Yeah.
And especially as it's not like, I think for me that's different as well, because it's not like Alex wasn't really like in my community as such. Like, he wasn't really always coming back, and he wasn't like in and around people. He kind of just came in, asked for the TikTok. He'd come back every now and then and speak to me, but like he didn't really watch me a lot because he was NA, and like, you know, everyone has their own different lives and whatnot. So that's what made it like way cooler that that even was a thing, you know, that they met through a random TikTok that he made of me. And then I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
That's so cool.
That's crazy, right? That's like my flex story, that is. Even though I didn't do anything. Do you know what I mean? But in turn, I've existed, and someone's got married through me, which is just nuts. On the opposite side of the world, because they're both from NA as well. So
yeah, imagine if you said no.
Yeah,
no,
that's what I'm saying. Imagine I said no. Yeah, she still owes me for that. She still owes me. Imagine I said no. Literally. But no, yeah, that's just small things like that, which is why I think you get more out of streaming than you do like if you used to make content. Is that like, you just get that personal level of meeting people and like people interacting with other people and that sort of thing. Like I'm sure loads of your community have like met each other and like played games together now, right? Yeah. It's just a cool thing. I don't know.
Always gaming. I love seeing the Discord full of people just either just hanging out or gaming with each other or whatever. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's cool. It's a cool feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, last two questions. What are some of your proudest moments?
Oh.
So this doesn't have to be like an achievement that you've had. So it's like, I don't know, getting a sponsorship or like doing a stream or whatever. It's more just what do you take from your whole streaming career and what do you say is like the coolest thing that's happened?
I wouldn't say this is like the coolest thing that's happened because it's not like really one event or one thing. But something that I'm like most proudest of these moments are when I set a goal, I achieve it. You know, I have a goal to hit masters and I want to do it in one stream. I did it. I want to like any challenge that I've given myself, I've been able to achieve, or at least I've tried, you know. And that's like the proudest thing I would say about myself and about this whole content thing is, if I have a goal, I'm gonna go for it. You know, I have big goals and big dreams, and one day those will all be achieved. But like for
Yeah.
now, like any small thing like that I'm able to do, anything that's in like the realm of being possible, I usually aim for.
Yeah. No, that's good though. That's something to be proud of, that you like set a goal and you've achieved it. Whether that's small or big to you, like it's still a goal, right? Again, like even with streaming, everything's to do with numbers. Everything. Like hitting a goal, hitting this, like growing your stream, like everything's number based. And like doing something, you know? Like I don't know if you do this, but above my head, which no one's ever seen, is like a whiteboard and I write stuff down on like what I wanted. Or like what I want to achieve, or what I could potentially achieve this year, or what I want to get into, or stuff like that, you know?
I have like a notes thing here that I add, and like I was opened it the other day, and I was scrolling. It says goals slash to do, Twitch to do, and like I've crossed out things that I've achieved, and I'm like, wow, I really am like,
Yeah.
I really am doing the thing.
Yeah. It's hard with goals though, I find. Like goals can be good and bad. So they can be good in the terms of like you've written it down, you've been, oh my god, like when I wrote this down, this was when I was at this point, and now look at me. Do you know what I mean? But it's also bad because if you don't hit the goal, you're like, damn, what? Like,
I mean,
how have I not?
I
You know?
wrote a goal. Yeah, I wrote a goal to hit 5K followers on Twitch like almost 2 years ago, and I'm just about there. Like I'm still not there, but like I don't think of it like that. I think of it more like I have these goals because I think it's always good to have goals, and that doesn't always mean that you have to hit them right away. You know, I think it's very important. Like it gives you purpose. If you're constantly reaching your goals and then you're not making new ones, like what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
You need a purpose. So my purpose right now, 5K, and then after that, there's another goal. You know what I mean? You can't ever not have goals.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just sometimes you might set a goal way too high for yourself. Do you know what I mean? And then when you don't achieve it, you're like number wise as well. Like I'd set a goal last year. I wanted to get to like X amount of like followers on each platform, and I don't think I hit even one. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't like, oh, I'm so demotivated. It's more like, okay, maybe I shouldn't set a goal that high because it's achievable. Like what I was setting was achievable, but it was more just, oh, I didn't hit that. Oh, damn. Do you know what I mean? I'm more like, oh crap. Now I probably shouldn't.
Trial and error.
Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is. But it's nice to write down. It's also very nice to write down things that you have achieved as well, because then it makes you realize, oh wait, no, I've done this. That is sick. Like never did I think when I first started that I would be doing that. You know what I mean? So, but I think goals work both ways, right?
Yeah.
It can be your proudest moment, but it can also be your like, do you know what I mean?
I think there's pros and cons to everything, but I think as far as goals go, the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
Even if in the moment it doesn't feel the best, you take something away from it, you know?
Yeah, it's nice to hit goals though. Like when you see them on a notepad or whatever you said, then it's nice to like look and go, "Oh my god, I hit that." You know, like I did that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sick feeling, but it's just it can be very. It's like a thin line. Do you know what I mean? It's a very thin line between like it going well and then going, "Oh crap, like I didn't hit that goal and I set that." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I
difficult.
see what you mean.
It's difficult. But it's not. But again, it's always nice to write things down and just have things in front of you so you can like work towards them, or even just jog your memory of stuff you need to do. Like I've got like on my phone, I've got a notepad just full of stream ideas that I want to do in the future. Not now, maybe in the future. Or most of my ideas I get when I'm in bed as well, which is random. Like I sit on my sometimes I sit at my desk for like 2-3 hours and I'm like I need to think of something, and then I end up don't, and I get off and I'm like it just annoys me because I'm like I've just sat there wasting 2 hours, but technically I haven't. I've just not been able to think, and then I just end up I don't know. You just end up, and then when I get into bed, I think, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this or this, and then you have about 6-7 ideas in one go. You have 6-7 ideas in one go, and then you're like, oh, and then I can just now I have them written down. I'm like, okay, I can now work on them, or now when I get back onto my PC tomorrow, I've got something to do, you know. But yeah, it's always good to write down your ideas as well, because I think of
If I
ideas
don't
in my
write them
sleep,
down,
you'll forget
yeah.
them.
Yeah, exactly. If I don't write them down like right away, I'm not gonna remember later. I'm not
No.
gonna even remember in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I gotta write it down now.
Oh god. Okay, right. Last question before we get into chat questions. Describe what content means to you in one word or in a few words. So let's just say streaming, for example. What does streaming mean to you?
I just have to think of one word.
No. You can think of a few words. It's more if you had one word to say, or if you want to have like a broad discussion about it, like talk about what you think it is.
I have a word.
Sure.
I have a word. I have a word I've already said. Purpose.
Purpose. Okay. Good word. Okay, explain why it's purpose.
Okay. Like I said in the beginning, streaming right now, I'm not saying like this is my entire life and this is the only thing that I ever want to do, because I'm trying to be realistic. Like, yes, this is, of course, like my dream job, my dream to do content for the rest of my life and be able to live off of the content I make, like just living my life. And it's not like, to me, I don't think of it as work. So like I would love that for my whole life. Now, realistically, that might not happen, and I might have to go back to school, or I might have to go get a full-time job or whatever. So I'll do that if it comes to there. But right now, like, streaming really gives me a purpose. Building the community that I have gives me a purpose. Like, I feel like I am a good space, a positive space for people to go to, whether it's to me or to other people in the community, like somewhere where people can be themselves, and that really gives me purpose to keep doing this. Like, it's very rare that I don't enjoy what I'm doing on stream. So right now, this is my purpose, streaming.
Okay, so streaming is your purpose. You feel like you're made for it, right?
It's very natural for me. Yeah. Yapping is natural.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. No, that's a good word though. That's a good word. I think the other word we had was fun. I think Ken wasn't late. Fun, they said.
Yeah.
And it's more like the interaction of meeting other people and stuff like that, you know? But yours is purpose. Good word, to be fair. Solid word. Anyone else? Does Llovelyer not get tired or suffer from fatigue from streaming on DJing hours?
So for a long time I wasn't. I was fine. I wasn't getting a lot of sleep, but I was still able to, like, I would get like 4 hours of sleep, and then I'd be able to like stream for 16 hours the next day. And I was able to do that for a while, and then Wardy messaged me one day and said, "Hey, mate, this is gonna hit you one day. This is gonna hit you really hard." And yep, it did. And I went to the doctor, and like my vitamin D levels were so low, like severely deficient, and I was not able to, like, I wasn't able to sleep properly when I was sleeping. I wasn't able to like stay awake in the day. I had to have like 2 naps or like one really long nap, and like it really did affect me. Now I can't do that again. That's why I changed my schedule so that I was able to like sleep more because it was starting to affect my health and my how tired I was.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like lack of vitamin D as well, right? Because you're not getting any sun or anything. You're just waking up and just, and obviously maybe exercise as well. And on top of that,
Yeah.
plus your body's not designed to go to bed like when it's light outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, how does she motivate herself to get out of her comfort zone? That's a good question in general. To be fair, not just because of the language, but just in general. How do you motivate yourself to get out of your comfort zone?
I said this a while ago, but I'm gonna say it again because I really like actually go by this. Like whenever I make a decision now, I ask myself this or tell myself this all the time. So when I had to move into my first apartment ever by myself, completely by myself, I was really young and I was really excited but scared at the same time. So I went to my apartment, I moved my things in. I didn't have a whole lot, but I moved everything in. And then I was alone, okay? And I freaked out and I took everything I moved in and I put it into my car and I lived in my car for the day because I was terrified to be alone in an apartment. And I talked to somebody like an adult about this, and I asked, like, I was just saying like what I was scared and this is what I did, blah blah. And he told me that he gave me a story of his, and then he told me that the scariest, most uncomfortable decisions that you make end up being like the best decisions that you make. So I took his advice and I took that and I moved in, and it was like the best decision I made. So every time like I really, okay, I have my days. I'm not scared of anything. I'm scared of a lot of things, but like when it comes to getting out of my comfort zone or going places or moving or whatever, I have a quite a open mindset about it. Like um, yeah, moving to Spain was really scary. There was a lot of things I was scared of. What if this went wrong? What if that went wrong? What if I don't have any money? What if I go homeless? What if I there's so many things, like what if I can't find a job? What if, so many things that I was asking myself or people were asking me, but I wasn't really that worried about it. I was like, I'll figure it out. I'm young enough. If something happens, I just go back to Canada. There's no like nothing, like I have a fallback. Canada's my fallback. It's, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not like I'm young enough. If it ends up being a huge mistake, that's okay. That's okay. I can afford a mistake.
yeah, yeah. I think it's doing it at the right time as well, right? Sometimes you have to realize that like it might be the right time for you to do it, and like even in a few years, you might think, "Oh, I really miss home now. I can just go back."
Yeah.
Even if it is like 10 hours away or whatever it is, it's still, you know, it's still okay to like just think, okay, I can go back now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have that
Yeah,
fallback.
exactly.
No matter how much you think you're leaving behind, you can always get it back. Because I'm sure you've got family out there, or like, obviously you sold your house and blah blah blah. But you could always move back in and try and find somewhere for a period of time. You got people out there that can help you. You know what I mean? So yeah,
It would be a rough like restart because I basically restarted my life when I came here, and then I would have to do it again. It would be rough. I'm not saying it would be easy, but if I had to do that, I could. Like it's not, I'm not scared of having to restart. And a lot of people are scared of that. A lot of people are holding on so much to, like, my mom. I love my mom so much and I wish that she could be here with me, but she can't. But I did not allow that to stop me from living like the life that I want to live.
yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, last couple of questions. How did POTS affect moving to a new country? I know everyone's condition is different. I care for someone who has a completely shot nervous system, and as a result of POTS, is it similar to you? Does your heart rate also rise drastically just before going live, for example?
Um, POTS hasn't affected, POTS doesn't affect my like day-to-day life. Sometimes it does when I'm going through like a really, like if I'm really stressed out, or if it's like, for example, really, really hot and I get more blood pooling like that, then it like starts to affect me, but it hasn't really like again, mine isn't like severe. Like I'm not fainting every time I stand up like some people do. Like that's really rare for me.
Yeah.
Does my heart rate rise drastically before going live? My heart rate, anytime I'm even a little bit nervous, my heart rate is quite high. When I stand up, obviously, my heart rate is quite high. When I'm nervous before stream, or I'm talking to somebody new, or something happens, like I get raided or whatever, my heart rate is very high. But I feel like it's a little higher than the average person, but like it's normal for that to happen to people who get raided
Yeah.
or whatever, excited or anything.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's all the questions. I'm pretty sure that is all the bloody questions. Yeah, pretty much everyone's happy with you, mate. See, it wasn't that bad, was it? Round of applause.
No, I had to close chat.
It wasn't that bad. See, I told you, it's just a chat, innit? It's just a chat.